If you're like me, you love the feel and the look of the loop yarn, but you're a crocheter and you want to crochet with it instead of finger knitting, watch today's video. I solve your problem. We are actually on family vacation and I love to craft while we're traveling. And so I have been working on a method to use the loop yarn and how to crochet with it. So the family has gone skiing today, left me time to record how I figured out how to do it. Okay, this is a little prototype that I have just crocheted, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. I have a video on how to do the finger loop knitting, and the blanket turned out beautiful. It was fantastic. It was just a little slower than I am used to when I crochet. So I was determined to figure out how to use a crochet hook and loop yarn to make a cool project. So let me show you how. To start with, you're going to want to snip a couple of the strings in the loops on the beginning of your yarn. So just clip a couple of them so you have a nice tail. There's just a little piece of thread that holds it in place. So snip your little loops. So at this point, go ahead and create a slip knot for your crochet hook. So the way I do that, I'm just gonna wrap it around my finger and pull it through that hole and draw it up. So we have a little slip knot, and this is where the fun begins. So these loops already create what you need. You don't need to loop over your hook or anything. So I'm gonna go through the first one, draw it through, skip one. So we're going to skip the second loop, go to the third loop. Skip and go to the next. Skip, go to the next. And do that for as wide as you want your project to be. And so you can see as you get going, it gets going really fast, and that's what we're used to as crocheters. Okay, so right now you basically have a knobby mess, but this is your base chain row. And you can see if you've done it correctly, you'll have an even gap in between your loops. So I'm going to do a couple more, skip one. There we go. Okay, now we're down at the end. And usually on crocheting, you have to chain 1, 2, or 3 to turn and go back the other way. We are going to loop in your next loop. So you're not going to skip this one. You're going to loop in your next loop, and you're going to turn your project. Now, this is your base row, and you're gonna continue, so always the row that you're working off of. You do not skip anymore on the row that you've completed. So we're gonna put it there, and we're gonna go into your first one on your working yarn. So we're gonna go pull the loop through 1, pull the loop through 2. We're not skipping any on your bottom one, so we go in the next bottom, but we're skipping on your working. So skip 1, go through your next one. Draw through 1, draw through 2. The next loop on your project row, skip 1 on your working yarn, pull through 1, pull through 2. Skip, go to the next one, pull through 1, pull through 2. I love testing out things to make sure that I'm explaining them correctly. So I had our adult daughter Bailey do it. The way Bailey pulled it through, it didn't make it nice and smooth until I showed her the difference. So this is kind of key on making it a nice smooth pattern. Pull through 1, then pull through 1. Don't try to squish them. If you accidentally go through the bottom one first because you're pulling really tight, it does make a different look. So I'm going to continue across the row. So skip 1, Okay, I'm almost down to the end of this row. Here's my last loop. This is where I started my, my hook. So I'm gonna just make sure that's nice and tight. My last loop, skip one, go to the next one. And to turn your row, go into the next loop, draw it through, and turn. And so again, you have a knotty mess, but as you get going, you're going to really see the pattern take place. So now you're on the next row. Don't skip any on your project row. So we're going to go into here, and we're going to go into the first one of your yarn. Don't skip any on your project row, but skip one and go into one. So to recap, you always go into your first loop. After that, you skip the loop. So here we are, skip, and pull it at one, pull it at two. And that is really all there is to it. So this is what the project looks like there's nothing different, there's no fancy stitches. I don't have to remember purl, knit, anything. This is exactly what you're coming up with. So this is super soft, super fast. We just now need to finish it off. So to finish it off, I have went in this direction. Here is my tail over here. So to finish it off, you take your lead loop and you push the back one through it. You take your lead loop here, push your back one through it. And it just makes a nice finished edge. So we're gonna continue that across. So that is a super easy way to finish it off. You just go all across the end. When you get to the end, you just weave your tail back into your project. Okay, that is truly all there is. You finish it off, weave in your ends. I cannot tell you, when I was working with this yarn, trying to figure it out, I told the family, this is a one and done project. I'm not gonna use this loop yarn again. I'm a liar. I'm a total believer. When you can use a crochet hook with it, it is very fast. I love it. So check out our other videos on how to crochet. I have different patterns, but as always, thank you for watching DIY on the House.